Planet Vegeta was a world of warriors. It was a place of harsh beauty, with crimson skies and rocky landscapes. But it was also a world enslaved. The tyrant Frieza ruled with an iron fist. He exploited the Saiyans' strength, using them as his personal army. The Saiyans lived in fear of his power. They knew the consequences of disobedience. Bardock, a seasoned Saiyan warrior, felt a growing unease. Frieza's tyranny weighed heavily on his soul. He noticed Frieza's increasing paranoia. He saw the fear in the eyes of his fellow Saiyans. Bardock knew something was wrong. He could sense an impending doom. He had to act. He had to protect his people. Bardock shared his concerns with his wife, Gine. Gine was a gentle soul, a rarity amongst the battle-hardened Saiyans. She shared Bardock's anxieties. They feared for their newborn son, Kakarot. They knew they had to make an impossible choice. The time for hesitation was over. Bardock and Gine decided to send Kakarot away. It was their only hope. They knew the risks. They understood the pain of separation, but their love for their son outweighed their fear. They had to believe he would find a better life, a life free from Frieza's tyranny. Bardock secured a small, battered attack ball. It was the only one he could find. It was a long shot, but it was their only hope. Gine placed Kakarot inside the cramped vessel. Tears streamed down her face as she kissed her son goodbye. Bardock set the coordinates for a distant planet. It was a world far from Frieza's reach, a world where Kakarot might be safe. He launched the attack ball into the vast expanse of space. As he watched his son disappear into the starry void, Bardock vowed to fight. He would buy Kakarot as much time as he could. Bardock rallied his comrades. He shared his suspicions about Frieza's true intentions. He urged them to stand up against their oppressor. Some scoffed, others listened with apprehension. They knew the futility of challenging Frieza. But Bardock's conviction struck a chord. His determination sparked a glimmer of hope in their hearts. Their rebellion was short-lived. Frieza, enraged by the Saiyan's defiance, unleashed his full power. A blinding white light engulfed planet Vegeta. Bardock, along with his comrades, met their end. Their sacrifice bought Kakarot precious time. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. Gine watched in horror as planet Vegeta crumbled under Frieza's attack. She had made the heart-wrenching decision to stay behind. She wanted to be with Bardock until the very end. Their love had always been a source of strength, a beacon of light in a world consumed by darkness. The destruction of their home, the loss of her beloved Bardock, it was almost too much to bear. But Gine clung to the hope that their sacrifice meant something. She prayed that Kakarot's attack ball would reach its destination. She prayed that he would survive. As the remnants of planet Vegeta scattered across the cosmos, Gine closed her eyes. She remembered the warmth of Kakarot's tiny hand in hers. She whispered a silent prayer for his safety. She knew, deep in her heart, that their son would be special. He would carry the spirit of the Saiyan race. He would be their legacy. Gine's sacrifice, a mother's ultimate act of love, would unknowingly shape the destiny of two worlds. The fate of the Saiyans and the fate of the Shinobi world were now intertwined, bound by the threads of destiny. Unbeknownst to the Saiyans, their destruction coincided with a cataclysmic event in another dimension. A powerful demon, fueled by rage and hatred, attempted to break free from its imprisonment. The demon's immense power tore a hole in the fabric of reality, creating a dimensional rift. The gods of destruction, tasked with maintaining balance in the universe, sensed the anomaly. However, their intervention only exacerbated the situation. Their attempts to seal the rift proved clumsy and haphazard. The dimensional tear widened, pulling in unsuspecting victims from across the multiverse. Kakarot's attack ball, caught in the pull of the dimensional rift, veered off course. The navigation system malfunctioned, its trajectory altered. Kakarot, oblivious to the chaos unfolding around him, slept peacefully inside. He was heading towards a world vastly different from his own. The dimensional rift, a consequence of a demon's rage and the god's blunder, set the stage for an extraordinary encounter. In the heart of the Shinobi world, a storm was brewing. A storm that mirrored the chaos of Kakarot's arrival. The nine-tailed fox's rampage. The hidden leaf village, nestled amidst lush forests and towering trees, stood as a beacon of peace and prosperity. But on this night, a sinister shadow fell upon the village. The nine-tailed fox, a colossal beast of immense power, attacked. The nine-tailed fox, sealed within the village's Hokage for generations, had been unleashed. Its crimson eyes burned with unbridled rage, its nine tails lashed out, reducing everything in their path to rubble. The villagers cowered in fear as their once tranquil home transformed into a battleground. Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, a shinobi renowned for his speed and tactical genius, fought valiantly against the monstrous beast. His wife, Kushina Uzumaki, a skilled kunoichi and the Nine-Tails' previous Jinchuriki, stood by his side. They fought with the weight of their village, their newborn son, on their shoulders. Their battle raged throughout the night, a desperate struggle for survival. Amidst the chaos and destruction, a strange object fell from the sky. A small spherical pod, its exterior scorched from its journey through the dimensional rift, crash-landed near the site of the battle. The impact of the pod's landing drew Minato and Kushina's attention. Exhausted but undeterred, they approached the crash site cautiously. The nine-tailed fox, momentarily distracted by the commotion, paused its assault. It watched with a mixture of curiosity and malice. Minato pried open the damaged pod. Inside, amidst the crumpled metal and flickering lights, lay a baby. The baby, oblivious to the danger surrounding him, giggled and cooed. He had spiky black hair and a tail. His unusual attire, a strange mix of blue and orange, hinted at an origin far beyond their world. Kushina gasped. She recognized the baby's tail. It was a trait she knew all too well. The nine-tailed fox, sensing her surprise, let out a deafening roar. It seemed to recognize the baby's energy too, an energy that felt both familiar and alien. This was no ordinary child. This was a Saiyan, a warrior race from a distant planet. What was he doing here, in their world, in the midst of this chaos? Fate, it seemed, had a plan that would forever link the destinies of these two children. 7. The sealing of the nine tails. A merging of energies. Minato and Kushina exchanged a look. They knew what they had to do. They had to seal the nine-tailed fox, and they had to protect this child, this unexpected arrival from a world unknown. Minato, with a heavy heart, prepared to perform the dead demon-consuming seal. He would use the last of his strength to seal the nine-tailed fox into his own son, Naruto. It was a risky gamble, a parent's desperate attempt to protect his child and his village. As Minato performed the intricate hand seals, something extraordinary occurred. Kakarot's tiny hand reached out from the pod. A surge of energy, raw and untamed, flowed from the Saiyan child. It was Saiyan Ki, the life force of his people, drawn to the immense chakra of the nine-tailed fox. The nine-tailed fox roared, resisting the seal, but the combined energies of the Saiyan and the tailed beast proved too powerful. The seal activated, pulling the nine-tailed fox's chakra and a fraction of Kakarot's ki into Naruto. The world held its breath. Section and Goku's new family. The sealing ceremony was over. The nine-tailed fox was gone, sealed within Naruto. Minato and Kushina lay on the ground, their life force faded. They had succeeded in protecting their village, but at a great cost. With their dying breaths, they entrusted their son, Naruto, and the Saiyan child, Kakarot, to the third Hokage. They made him promise to care for the children as his own. The third Hokage, his heart heavy with grief, vowed to honor their request. He would raise Naruto and Kakarot as brothers, unaware of the extraordinary destinies that awaited them. The village slowly began to rebuild, picking up the pieces after the nine-tailed fox's attack. The villagers, unaware of the sacrifices made that night, whispered tales of a monstrous fox and a yellow flash that saved them. Section 9. Future unfolds. Naruto and Kakarot grew up together in the Hidden Leaf village, oblivious to their true origins. Naruto, the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox, was ostracized by the villagers, feared and misunderstood. Kakarot, now known as Goku, was a cheerful and energetic child, his Saiyan instincts dulled by a bump on the head. Despite their different personalities, they forged a strong bond of brotherhood. They trained together, played together, and supported each other through thick and thin. Their rivalry, fueled by Goku's Saiyan drive and Naruto's unwavering determination, pushed them to become stronger. Unbeknownst to them, their paths were destined to diverge, leading them on extraordinary journeys. Naruto, the Jinchuriki, destined to become Hokage and bring peace to the Shinobi world. Goku, the last Saiyan, destined to become a legendary warrior and protect his adopted home from threats both earthly and cosmic. Their story, a tale of friendship, rivalry, and extraordinary destinies, was just beginning.